Holler if you hear me, and welcome to tonight's edition of Art Uncensored. It is the top of the hour, 10 p.m. Eastern, and we are here and together to complete page 3 to issue 7 of my comic book Encrypted. As you can see here, just from how I've been laying things out, that does promise of more Art Nouveau designs in this issue are coming forward a little bit right here, right then, right now. Today was, of course, a big day for me when it came to preparing for this show that we've got, preparing for the Warren Elks comic show tomorrow, where you see this beret. Yes, this little thing I got right here. You see what I got going, what I'm doing right here. Well, why am I wearing it? Because, like I said, all the things I needed to do, like getting the tea, but now that I'm back here, yes, I did go and get that haircut that I was 2 months late on because after my father's death and all that, I'd had the rhythm of getting one every 3 months, and it was supposed to be that means January, but because of all the blizzards, I was not able to get up to a supercuts or anything like that until today. So now, we've got this going on. Looks a lot better and simpler and cleaner. And the pretty young lady that did this also liked the finished results and was perfectly understandable about what it took when it came to the inclement weather, especially if you don't have a driver's license. So now, yeah, we got this ready to go for tomorrow's show. And we're also going to be bringing along the portfolios for issue 6 and all of that. I mean, for the artwork, and by that I mean the portfolios with all the original artwork for the first 6 issues, along with the covers for issue 7, the front and back covers. Now, with the idea of maybe in the future of doing a separate issue, like a little special edition thing that would be all of the cover art, interior and exterior cover art, put together in one single issue. By the time, do or die, continuing on from there, or if we end there with issue 12, well, we'd have 24 pages of interiors right there with the front and back covers to the 12 issues. So maybe do that as a special in the future, whether it be, that one right there as like a little thing to do after finishing the series or continuing it onwards. It depends on how well the interest and demand for Encrypted keeps on going past issue 12. We got RJ in the chat to say it looks good. Well, yeah, thank you there. It's a lot cleaner and easier to do, and also, showering is a much easier process, and being able to sleep without looking completely disheveled, all of that now is also a lot easier, where this stuff takes a lot less time to dry. And now that means probably wanting to get back to the rhythm I was having of every 3 months. So probably most likely maybe like late May or mid-June, I'll be back there at that Supercuts, which will be a nice take care of. And even though there was no rain today, like there was yesterday, where I was completely rained out and stuck in the house, today, oh no, I found my way into Grosse Pointe. I found my way up there to the Supercuts and went around there, did some shopping, like grocery stuff, not just random stupid spending or anything like that. And now, that means we're all up and ready for what's happening tomorrow with the Warren Elks show. And also because I was out in more places than where I was able to because of the rain yesterday, I actually went, and for the first time in a while, not since issue 4, this trusty little sketchbook of mine, this is the actual page sizes that comic books are printed on. So I got this because when it came to the idea of sketching out page layouts, I thought doing the layouts in the finished size that a comic book is printed on made the most sense to me. And I went and sketched out the layouts for today's page and also for page 4, so that then, because of the smaller amount of time I would be having to be able to go and really work on anything, so that's why tomorrow having a layout already figured out so that I know exactly, and it cuts down on the time of how to assemble page 4, means I'll be able to do page 4 with the more designy kind of sense of Alphonse Mucha style graphics. But having it laid out there like that means it'll be waiting for me to go and be able to zip through and do, which And that was another thing when it came to, because of everything I was doing, all the things I'd been meaning to do that I was delayed on and having to do them today meant that I came home later than usual. Like I didn't come home until after today's video premiere. Yep, I went and it also helped to make up for the lost time with having page 3 laid out that same way. Although, if you'll notice, here is the basic sketch I did. And if you want proof of what I mean, here is one of the... yes, I have the first 3 issues of Ninjak. That was one of Valiant's creations from their early 90s heyday. And of course, Ninjak is famous for how its original run, its first 3 issues, were drawn by a young Joe Quesada, who went from his first job in comics being as a part of Valiant's Nabro, which is a bunch of like young intern kind of artists they would have, to now here doing being the penciler on one of their new original launch books that they did when they finally really came of age and became a major alternate publisher to compete with Marvel and DC, except they were the ones who, like how I am compared to other people out there in comics when it comes to those that actually have the discipline to get things done and to focus on getting things done creatively and on actually effectively communicating with those customers and retailers and all that. Well, that's pretty much, Valiant was like that compared to Image, which was, Image, all of the flash and the bang and the attention seeking and the gatekeeping and the high school clique cafeteria bullshit. That was Image, while Valiant, yes, Valiant would be me, and Image would be the equivalent of, EVS, or people who, because of what posse they're in, they get to go and have some kind of big circulation or big success like that that's, handed to them based on who their friends are. But enough about EVS or Drunk 3PO. And one of the major things that really stood out with our friend Joe Quesada's work was his incorporation of Art Nouveau design into his comics, at least when it came to runs like, if you look back at the 3 issues he did of Ninjak, or also within his issues of Marvel Knights Daredevil that he did with Kevin Smith. And proof enough, the easiest one to see, just look at this one with the title. And that's how he introduces Ninjak. Yes, the Art Nouveau superhero, who's also a ninja. Also, he's a ninja. And yes, it's got one of those wraparound chromium covers, which because of the exterior, because of the glossiness, it could then be a thing where you have to hold it at an angle so that you don't see it catching the light. It's like the covers for issue 1 right here, where it's got a similar, where the cardstock catches the light and glistens that way. But yes, as you see, finished page right here. And basically that, like where you can go and tear out where the holes are, where you'd rip this page out, there you go. Perfectly lines up. So having your basic idea figured out at the finished page size is definitely a good thing to have in mind. And well, if I were to regularly sketch pages out before drawing them and all that, that would be a thing I would really go and follow. And well, maybe another thing I'll be doing as a more trying to develop and make this issue better than the previous ones, as well as figuring out the more intricate, complex designs of pages with this Art Nouveau framing and all those things. It'll be easier to do by going in with laying out a page, or at least having that basic sketch. And even if I wind up modifying it in a way where, if you see what we've got ready to be drawn tonight, it's not exactly one-to-one what's there, but of course, each stage of the comic you should be building on it and making it better. And well, although at the same time when I'm at the show today, I really don't think that, I'm at the show tomorrow, I really wouldn't want it to be where, it's like, you've got it, where they're going to go and screw up. Or no, it's not they're not going to go and screw up. It's a matter of, I'll be there, like, looking down, I'll be sketching, and, people coming by, that'll be rude. Okay. I know I find it rude when I'm at like conventions or whatever, and I see, and it looks like people are like trying to turn their back to you or whatever when they're at their tables, whether it's artist alleys or whether it's, the other vendors and all that. And it looks like your presence as a potential customer as something they see as a nuisance, that sort of thing. That's the major difference right there. And also, I was mentioning this to Nick earlier today. Right here, the UPS tracking, we are still on track for issue 2's print run to arrive tomorrow, except, of course, it's arriving at 9 p.m., it says right here. Although right there at the moment, it's on the way right now. As of 8:23 a.m., it's currently in Columbus, Ohio. So it's really all right. So it's still on the way. It's just only that it maybe like a day earlier. Probably if I confirm the order for the print run of issue 2, it probably would have shown up around this kind of time today, and then it'd just be a matter of rushing in the boxes to get out of the rain, because now I hear raining and I saw lightning and all that. Just bring the boxes in, get them all ready, so then I can have my issue 2 package and really be there. Yes, got issues 1 and 2, and here's your signed copies, here's your regular copies, and just move on from there. And if not, well, then if there's new people coming in to the show and all of that, or a lot of the people who bought issue 1 from the Warren Elk show, there was a lot of the different vendors that were there. And well, if they come on in and they, either they like what they saw with issue 1, and I say, well, issue 2 just arrived, but then if they want to go and get their order right there, and then I go and ship it out, there you are. Like if they'll go and order it right there, and then I'll package up their copy and ship it out to them Monday, if they're all right with that. I'll make the and well, that is the sales pitch I'll have to those who had already bought issue 1. Well, issue 2 is coming from UPS later tonight, so you can order right here, and then I'll ship it out to you Monday morning. Which is what's going to be happening to all those who pre-ordered issue 2 or those who are subscribers. You're going to be getting your copies mailed out there Monday morning, because it's still on schedule to arrive tomorrow night. And of course, because post offices being shut down Sundays, yes, the UPS ground advantage that you're all going to be getting your copies with, it's going to be depending on first thing in the morning with our post office friends. And also, you saw today there was the mystery of what happened to Weatherman's copies of issue 1 and 2. Well, that was resolved because during the raining of yesterday, they came back. His copies of issue 1, where he sends Weatherman subscribe, he got both of the subscriptions offered to for those for a year of issue 1 of Encrypted. It was sent back to me. It was a return to sender situation, which was strange. And so I double-checked the information, and yes, it was correct. It was just our post office friends in the Washington side of things screwing things up. So yes, today's postal video was an upload thanks to, yes, that was me shipping out the multiple copies of issue 1 that Weatherman got as him being a double subscriber. So there they are. They were shipped out this morning. I mean, so that means that maybe sometime Monday afternoon. Well, wait, remember, because of the delayed response, because of where he is out there with his own wide farmland out there in the sticks in Washington, that means that there'll be a few more days slower. So probably sometime within Wednesday through Friday is when Weatherman's copies will be coming. But we did finally resolve that mystery of them just being returned to my doorstep yesterday, and now ship them out there. USPS ground advantage in a nice, good, solid Gemini mailer. And well, with everyone else that is either ordered issue 2 or 1 since that first wave of those pre-orders and subscribers coming in, we've got that done. And that is all done. And also, there was an apology letter attached to that's in the packaging with Weatherman's copies, along with some extra little free gifts as a sorry. Yes, he got himself a couple little pieces in there to deal with that. And yes, this nice little kind of framing over the head of our lady right here, Fiona, in her schoolgirl outfit. And yesterday's page, I showed it to my sister, and well, it actually became kind of funny how badly she reacted to it. But the first thing she didn't like was the last line that Fiona has in her narration about how, well, I might as well enjoy it, saying that sounds like that doesn't sound like something a woman would say. That sounds creepy. That sounds like being a rape apologist. And then after that came how Fiona is dressed in the schoolgirl outfit with her blouse unbuttoned and the bra always visible. Even though, as I said from day one, her bra always being visible is one of her trademarks, even when she's in one of her little disguises. The sexy schoolgirl outfit inspired by this Playboy cover, hence all of the thumbnails I've been using this week. And well, I'm glad that the thumbnail for the Tonight, where yes, I used that other comic book type of dialogue balloon and sound caption to cover up the lady's breasts, and well, that seems to have worked. That seems to have worked with no problem, no censorship or anything like that. So I'm guessing I censored the nudity enough. And it also seems last night all the Blair Witch talk really helped because there's been a lot more replay on last night's stream, so that's very, very nice to see. I'm guessing there's a lot of people out there, or at least not more people in my neck of the woods, that really do love the Blair Witch. With all the, between showing both of the Good Bad Flicks Blair Witch videos, or, well, I've always been very open and vocal about being a fan of Good Bad Flicks, and there was a while there, like last year or so, where he was regularly doing streams on YouTube, and he was one of those where he would stream and he would go and respond to chats and to super chats and all that, as opposed to, and considering that he's been around online since the late 2000s and now has, you know, multiple hundreds of thousands of subscribers to him, to his channel, and also other platforms he has. So this is not like some fly-by-night dude or some like guy like, you know, who's a small fry who responds to everybody in the chat because they're grateful for anybody to be watching them like me. So for a guy like that to have, you know, those kind of, you know, larger viewing numbers showing up in his streams, and yet he's responding to people in the chat, if they're besides if they super chat or not, that's always nice to see. Like the other big example I could think of when it comes to, you know, YouTube at least, is the Almighty Lolly. That guy I used to watch, where he would respond to people who would like address him in the chat directly, as well as supers, which is cool. It's very refreshing compared to, like, you know, the Critical Drinker streams or Friday Night Tights, where it's almost like begone, to the point where they're so begone from me that even those who super chat, they don't respond to all the time. Oh, you only could give me $5? Well, I'll read your super chat later. Don't you know I have better things to say? Don't you know that takes time away from me yelling about how Star Wars is dead? How dare you expect more from me? How dare you expect me to treat you with any kind of respect or any grace or gratitude that you are paying for me? Paying for me to have a lifestyle of me yelling into a webcam and living luxuriantly off of it. How dare you expect more? Expect more from me when you don't pay more? And you wonder why there's guys like, there was a while there, that one guy who did all those shitty puppet videos making fun of Gary Beekler and everyone else. So there was all this, Star Wars is dead, give me your money. Star Wars is dead, MCU, give me your money. That sort of thing. But, well, you know, considering that douchebag erased all his content and now even changed his online handle or whatever, well, hey, okay. Now, all right, well, hey, he decided to fuck off, so I'll just go and fuck off, and we'll move on to other things. Like, I think we let this steep enough. One good thing about green tea is that if you get it under the light, it's easy to see whether it's strong enough or not. Wait. My cousin and my aunt Donna sent me this, so I might as well show off the reason. Yeah, why doesn't Doug TenNapel have something like this, I wonder? I kid Doug TenNapel, but yes, I've seen uploads of streams he does, and well, and maybe there was one where he has something emblazoned like this for a man who loves the church, but maybe it's just one I didn't see. An uploader or streamer brought that up because, of course, you know, his talk about Iran and all that was interesting to see and a lot more energetic and a lot more creative. So if you want your regular, you know, little regular uploads going on about what's on there in the news, well, Doug TenNapel, who got his original channel back, the one with almost 500,000 subscribers, that got shut down when he was fearlessly reporting on the 2020 election fraud, and then went and started a new one. Well, that channel of his, he got back last year, so now he's back in business doing all his regular uploads there, including all the stuff that's been going on about Iran, which did help out a lot when it comes to what's going on now with today in Iran, where I went and did an upload there, the postal video, because when it comes to, I'd like at least a good portion of the regular uploads I do to be about something beyond like the one upload I did about the one of the several tranny mass shooters that's been happening lately. And somebody there did leave a comment about, oh, it's nice something that's actually happening in the news, because FNT is just going to hell because it's just been endlessly barking and crying about, about Starfleet Academy or whatever. In case you wonder why, when I do clip things from these streams to make them as uploads, or if I do original uploads, I absolutely positively want to dance around that. Now, unless it's something I'm legitimately interested in, just like looking for whatever is the anti-woke topic of the day and pop culture and yell about that. No, enough of that. Enough of that. I would rather seriously do an upload about, watching a grandmother shave her ass and whether or not you should, what is the proper etiquette for helping an incontinent elderly woman shave her ass, than to go and constantly do uploads about why Starfleet Academy is so bad, honestly. And it probably would have been better if I did an upload about the new haircut here than something going on about something in game, some shit in gaming that involves Bobby Kotick, and on and on and on. Those different type of subjects would go. Maybe even doing like a time lapse of when I got this new tree here, this new plant here, and maybe like once a month showing the progress that its growth has made. And well, it's been every Sunday I water it, so it's been doing fine. But one though that's looking kind of drab is this was the second of those plants that they were just giving away at the church that I took home with. And as you can see, yeah, there's some of there, like one of them leaves there. That looks pretty bad. But there's 3 different branches. Like the center one there is the one that's got that leaf there that's looking bad. And the other one's better. And with the window to my left always open like that, this one does catch the daylight. And that red Ponciana, that's like that one, I also have up there in that angle, so it catches that light just as much as the tall, big money tree plant has, as well as the one behind me, with the regular watering every Sunday. It has been helping. It has been growing and all that. And also now with my friend Gamera, I got new bottles of the little green tank material that you're supposed to have, where it's supposed to put like certain droplets of it for every new gallon of water you put in the tank. It's part of helping that water acclimatize to the type of environment that a reptile is used to when it comes to pouring in the new water to refill a tank when the lamps start slowly evaporating the water tank level, which, well, the water filter we have in the tank, I told you, it's an easy alarm system. When it starts going off, like it's making some grinding noise, like, if a bike chain is twisted or something, that's when okay, the water's getting low to refill it, because then the grinding noise is reduced back to a regular steady stream noise when there's enough water flowing through it. Easy to learn. Good to know. That's very nice. And yeah, tomorrow we've got although it is going to be another one of those nights where, the show opens at 10, so I got to be up earlier and all that to get ready for the show and make sure that I've got everything. And the only other new thing I got to really think about, the only thing ahead is the ability to go and get the Uber that's able to show up in time for me to show up, for me to then show up there on time and set everything up and all that. So that's good. I'm hoping so. That's fun. I do talk with the other vendors and all that, but I'm not really on any kind of like real friendship kind of basis where they would just give me a ride back home, wherever like that. So it's still a matter of needing to travel and all that, and also just not imposing that way. So I would have to go and need the travel expenses up and back anyways. So the fact that, well, now that they got this that I'm doing every month, and also there's the Dawn of the Collectors, which is one of the 2 shows I'll be doing in April. There's the there's the Detroit comic book show, which is one day early in April. That's one where I wasn't able to get a table to, so I'm just going to be there working the floor with copies of issue 1 and 2. And then a couple weeks later is Dawn of the Collectors, where I do have a table there. And then I'm hoping on getting a table there for the rest of the shows they'll be doing in the year, which let me see if I still have the little flyer. Apparently not. Nope. But, oh, wait, here it is. It's under my pencil set. Yes, the remaining shows the other shows they have in the year, where, yeah, and then June, then August, October, November, and December, I'm hoping to get tables for there because, well, it's only $35 for a table, and they have a good circulation of people. And also not the same kind of people as there were before with, our friends over there. Like when I would do those quarterly Great Lakes shows, there would be the show I would do that was once a day. Once every, like I said, it was a 1 day every quarter. And then in February, they would have the big 2-day one. And then there was the 10th anniversary one they did, which was their first 3-day show. And, well, that was then weeks before then. The man in charge of it, Mr. there, Mike DeSantis, then tragically died. And now that show's been like delayed or up in the air, where now it's a matter of whether or not the family wants to keep running the show or if they're going to go and sell that convention off to someone else for them to go and run it and take it over. I do sincerely hope that it's not the people that run Motor City Comic Con, because that one's become more and more of a nightmare situation where it's one of those examples of the conventions where it's all about Hollywood celebrity shit and not really about comics that much. And also the ridiculous expenses of how much it takes to get a ticket. And that is all before you get to then the exorbitant Uber fees that I have to go up there all the way up to Novi, Michigan and back. That alone is a nightmare as well, before you even get to the 3-day fee. And then the fact, all these other things they do, like how, when you're going out and around in public or whatever, and if you have a good phone plan, you can still, if you're away from Wi-Fi, still have, data to go and use. If you're away from a Wi-Fi, but you're still using your devices, well, when you go to Motor City Comic Con, the venue there, the Suburban Collection Showplace, they have Wi-Fi there that they want you to pay for. And when you're there, the foot traffic there is going around in a way where the data usage suddenly slows down to a trickle. Like they're doing, they've got some tech-savvy people involved in the collection showplace that is going out of its way to drain, to basically mafia shakedown you into paying for their Wi-Fi service. Yeah, that's why Motor City became one of those things where no thanks, no mas. I'm honestly more interested in the one they have in Grand Rapids that also is going to be in April. It's going to be in the weekend between the Detroit Comic Book Show and Dawn of the Collectors. But like I said, that's Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo. Those are practically the other side of the state. So that would be something where if you think the travel expenses for to and fro from Motor City's bad, try doing that one. That is especially a nightmare. And I would not recommend it. One thing I would recommend, tracking down the Valiant run of Magnus Robot Fighter. Those first 3 years of them, that's a good, if you want a good, if you're interested and, you want to find an older comic that is not superhero related, an American comic that's not superhero related, track down the Valiant early 90s Valiant version of Magnus Robot Fighter. And actually, I've seen going through back issue boxes, they did also do reprints of the original Gold Key Magnus Robot Fighter from the 60s and 50s. Because yes, that Magnus Robot Fighter, Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, and Solar Man of the Atom, that were some of the early titles that helped launch Valiant's, intricate superhero shared universe, were all characters from Gold Key that then got bought up. They got the license for them and did that for a while. And all those characters that Valiant did now, their licenses all wound up being bought up by Dark Horse for a bit. And now I think all of them belong to Dynamite, because I did see that, yeah, the original Turok comics were called Turok, Son of Stone, and that Dark Horse did a reprint of them for a while. And then I believe Dynamite did them for a while. Let me go and double check. because I know it's been that them are they though those gold key characters that then were Valiant characters became almost they were sort of like what has become of all of Brian Polito's comic book creations from the 90s that aren't Lady Death, because as Brian Polito's company was going under, he then went and did a Lady Death comic with CrossGen that crossed over with one of their characters. I can't remember the name of it. But no, it was called. It wasn't a crossover. It was Medieval Lady Death that was published by CrossGen. But then the publisher of CrossGen wound up selling the rights of Lady Death back to Brian Polito exclusively. So Brian Polito owned the rights under his name, and that's why when Chaos Comics went under and went bankrupt, all their IPs that are now the IPs of Dynamite. Well, with the exception of Lady Death. Lady Death, the flagship character of Brian Polito's, empire that crashed and burned in the 90s of independent comics. Well, the one that mattered the most was the one he was able to keep in his name, and he wound up coming back into the fray with doing new Lady Death books and doing them through crowdfunding, through, I believe, Kickstarter. And he's been doing it for about a decade. Without fail, he's been promoting and funding and delivering the books he's been promising, and has now grown a whole new little mini indie comics empire with new supporting characters, new characters there, new comics that are going and publishing in parallel with the new Lady Death stuff. So if you want to see Ethan Van Sciver from a mirror universe between somebody who is not fat, somebody who actually does care about making and delivering the comics to the people who paid him for it, and who took, underground or third party publisher indie hit of the mid 90s and has now made it come roaring back into success, you basically have what Brian Polito's been doing the past decade. Something else fell under like that. But now, with all of that talk, let's get to the work of our little fun house right here. And no, not TV fun house. Get this going. Ah ha 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 ha. Now we got it. And where are we going to begin? Try with this one right here. Get your dad a beer. That's the only way you're gonna get him out of here. Oh, da 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 dun. La ba do do da do. Song ba da da dun. Oh, da 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 run. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we got the legs down here. You get yourself upstairs. This is a very important dinner. I will. Thank you, Juanita. Shampoo is better. I go on first and cleans the hair. Conditioner is better. I make the hair silky and smooth, or really full, really. Stop looking at me, Swan. Oh. What's the chupacabra coming? The chupacabra. I know I got problems. Touch your toes. Let me only slap out the matter, Garcia. That's right. Good game, slap ass. Good game, slap ass. All right, slap ass. What's up? Yo, Duque, pick up the phone. What's up? What's up? I ain't know you driving without no papers. I got papers, blunts, bongs, all the ingredients to make a high and I'm high. Yeah, man, you all need jumper cables? Oh, that's good, because I left my roach clip at home. Oh, yeah. I'll see you later. Oh, that's right. Shit, it's shorty. Hello, shorty. I'm in the house. I can be anywhere. I'm like the wind, baby. You're behind the couch. What? How do you know that? I can see your feet. All right, close right now. No peeking, no peeking. Can you guess where I am now? I'll give you a big clue. My boyfriend he'll be here any minute. He's black and he'll kick your ass. You mean the one that wears makeup and dresses like a woman? Yeah. Check the back porch. Help! Help! That's not my boyfriend. I mean, I fucked him a couple times, but that's it. Ow. Go ahead, call the cops. But you might want to check that back door first. You forgot to lock it. Oh yeah, when to see me high up in the sky, waiting for me when I die. It seems the day you're born and when you die, waiting for me in the fire. For as sure as the sun will shine, I'm going to get my share now of what's mine. But then the harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all. Oh, they're trying to keep me down, treating me like a clown. For as sure as the sun will shine, I'm going to get my share now of what's mine. Then the harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all. Oh. Live food equals live bodies. Oh, and I had a little fun. What's that noise? Oh, I farted. I didn't think you'd hear me. No, that popping news. And we got Kim saying, hello, I'm checking in back later. All right, nice to see you here. All right, help. All right. And yes, everybody say hello to Kim as she is on her way in here. Give her a little bit of fun and respect. Rip 'em! Rip 'em! Oh, what are we gonna do here? Hulkasm after Hulkasm. Into the soul of that arena of this bedroom. At the end, you will be a Hulkasexual. Oh. Did you hear something? No, I didn't hear anything. Oh. And if the cops come, I've never heard of you. And don't forget to flush your stash. I have something in the coffee. I left something in the coffee can for you, but what are you going to cut it with? The baking soda, not baking powder, because the baking powder guys are going to have muffins growing out of their noses. Yeah, some money disappeared, some legs getting broken. It's just best if I lay low for a couple days. The sick bastard planted drugs all over the house. Doofy. What, shithead? I forgot to swallow. Oh, that's okay because I never forget. Gale swallows. That van? Yeah. That van. All right. Special officer Doofy reporting. Yeah, that's this many. Print, slow down. Blow me. No comment. Maybe a change your underwear, son. I go poopy. Did you just say that she went poopy? Yeah, it was good. You ass spelunker. What's a rim job? Oh, that's when you put your legs behind your head and have someone lick your ass. You don't have to put your legs behind your head for a rim job. It's not necessary, but if you're limber enough to hold that and find it pleasurable to get, your ass licked in that position, I mean, okay, if you can. Slim Shady. Royce the 5'9". I'm on slash and gash. What? I'm cut another hole in your ass. Spill blood on the wall. Then play tennis with your balls. If the phone rings, don't answer the call. I'm gonna slit your throat. Yo, fuck you like a goat. Peel your foreskin off. Then make a winter coat. And I'm gonna survive. And anybody who meets me eventually dies. I'm the badass, no, but like a chica, I scope here because I'm the fucking killer. I've met someone. I'm breaking up with you. No, don't look at me like that. Hey, when I wear this badge, you treat me like a man of the law. And Mom also said for you to stop sticking your dick in the vacuum cleaner. Hey, what's that smell? What's that smell? That's when you know you become a man, doofy. Hey, Terry, smell this. Oh, God, what the hell's that smell? My ass. And hello to Forever Lost right here. What's up? Well, we've got page 3 underway. Nice to see you here. And this also is actually on this is pretty earlier than what we usually see Forever Lost coming on in. So this is a momentous night. This is a historic night, everybody. Stinky dinky waka ka. Voodoo Mambo. When the move go beat me the Latin freak, all the top and you don't stop. Oh. What that down. Path, get out. If anybody else remembers the past besides me. And yes, nice to see everybody coming in here like this. Yes, we're getting this naughty schoolgirl look right here. Improving upon it, the shape of the head and everything there from how it was penciled out, I think. Oh, Jesus. Forever says, might have to go to the hospital in a bit of pain. Oh, fuck. Well, okay. That's, I mean, oh, all right. I was not expecting that. I'm now a little... It is a little strange to see this. Let's pick this little lady here. Oh, that's... Well, it's nice to know what exactly, so it doesn't lead to us, a complete intense fear bouncing around our minds, wondering what it is. But it might be kidney stones. Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, my dear Lordy. But, well, yes, of course, don't ignore that pain if it gets worse, obviously. But that also reminds me of a little something here. I think we all would get a laugh out of to try to distract ourselves from the pain.
Awesome! I'm gonna be a famous music star like Muddy Waters!
Muddy? Baby, everything all right in there?
Oh, I think I'm about to pass a kidney stone.
I mean, come on. I hope some of us found that funny. Oh, you're so clever. Oh, yeah. Come on. You are now watching my TV. Hope it passes. We all hope it passes, but not that, muddy water sort of way. Okay, I'll stop. Stop, it hurts. Like Quentin Tarantino's theory about Like a Virgin, and about really it's a song about a guy with a big dick. It's about this guy, but there's this girl just morning, noon, and night, dick all day long. But then she meets this one cat, but when this cat fucks her, it hurts and reminds her of what it's like to be a virgin, hence Like a Virgin. Except when Madonna herself sent to Tarantino a signed copy of that album with a note saying, Quentin, Like a Virgin is not about dicks, it's about love. Wow, shooting down a Tarantino theory, that takes some balls. Making it the third Largest object to ever pass out of Madonna's vagina. Hey, did you see that documentary, Truth or Dare, she did in the early 90s? And there's the part where she goes and deep throats a water bottle in front of all her backup dancers. I think that clip is also available. Let me show you that. Yes, it's here.
You're not asking the question.
Yes. This is actually happening. So the next time she wants to say she's a lesbian, don't you believe her? Although Freva says, I mean, can you blame him for thinking that way? I mean, come on. Especially with this clip I just showed you all. Gail swallows. Yeah, that's many. Especially Officer Doofy reporting. I said, don't disturb me when I'm cleaning my room. Oh, baby. Oh. I wonder where she learned that. I wonder where the lady learned how to do that with a water bottle. And remember, that was glass, too, so that's especially impressive. Without hurting herself in any way. Making it the third largest object to pass out of Madonna's vagina. Let me see. Oh, something else. Yep, here we go. She almost gave the bottle post-nut clarity. That type of, oh my God, I just let Madonna suck my dick. Oh God, why did I do this? Jesus. Was I blinded by my horniness that much? Yes, I was, and it's disturbing.
Nobody gives.
Like to congratulate the Weekend Update would like to congratulate Madonna, who gave birth to a beautiful baby girl last Monday. The baby weighed in at 6 pounds 9 ounces, making it the fourth largest object ever to pass through Madonna's birth canal.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer.
Potential jurors for the O.J. Simpson case were asked to fill out a 75-page jury questionnaire this week. In the entire state of California, only one person got a perfect score. Chow Ming Wu, who after the trial plans to attend Caltech. By the way, you can now purchase a bronze statue of the Juice for only $3,395. And for an even $5,000, you can buy one that Al Cowlings has kissed the ass of. O.J. Simpson's new fitness video was released this week, and hitting the shelves next week, Simpson's newest video, Dorf on Stocking, The crowd is torn. According to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, "I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses, or trait." And the Pope came out with a book this week, which contains a series of essays examining faith and morality in today's secular world and the changing role of the Catholic Church as it approaches the 21st century. The book is entitled, "God Himself Told Me That O.J. is Guilty." In other book news, Prince Charles released an autobiography in which he states that he never loved Princess Di and that his father pressured him to marry her. The book is entitled, "Of Course O.J. Did It. I mean, come on." In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. That's probably... You don't get worse luck than that. And O.J. announced this week that he's coming out with a new book called I Want to Tell You. And if it's successful, O.J. will work on yet another book entitled From Football to Prison, My 25 Years of Showering with Other Men. And finally, in honor of the 50th anniversary of their first publication, Random House will be releasing special commemorative issues of many Dr. Seuss classics. The first to hit the bookshelves will be Green Eggs and Ham and O.J. is Guilty. Judge Ito was interviewed this week by a local TV station in Los Angeles. Asked by the interviewer if it was appropriate for a supposedly impartial judge to be on TV with his case still pending, Ito said, "Maybe not, but how appropriate is it to kill your ex-wife?" It was revealed today that O.J. Simpson told police that Nicole Brown Simpson used to beat him up. He also claimed that she and Ron Goldman killed him. O.J. Simpson's lawyers have decided to skip hearings on DNA evidence and go right to trial. Asked why they did this, the lawyers replied, "We want to get O.J. acquitted as speedily as possible so he can get back to doing what he does best, killing people." Well, let's get to O.J. O.J. Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind O.J. of how much more killing he still has to do. Well, O.J. Simpson's lawyers stopped feuding this week, finally. The Dream Team, F. Lee Bailey and Robert Shapiro, were able to put aside their differences and express their admiration for each other after O.J. threatened to cut their heads off. According to the National Transportation Safety Board, sleepy truckers are responsible for 1,000 deaths a year. In second place, O.J. Simpson at 2 deaths a year. It was revealed this week that defense lawyer Johnny Cochran once abused his first wife. In his defense, Cochran said, "Hey, at least I didn't kill her like some people I know." Tomorrow, Judge Lance Ito will take O.J. and the jury on a tour of the now famous crime scene. For the jury, it will be their first look at the actual location. Of course, for O.J., it will be just a case of been there, done that. Judge Lance Ito was happy with the jurors' field trip to the crime scene last week. It went off without a hitch, said Ito. Not one murder. O.J.'s pal Al Cowlings now has a 1-900 number. For $2.99 a minute, Cowlings will tell callers that OJ is innocent. And for $3.99 a minute, he'll try to do it without laughing. And this week, Simpson defense lawyers questioned witnesses about a half-melted container of ice cream found at the murder site. The Simpson defense has seized upon the ice cream for two reasons. One, it may help fix the time of the murders. And two, it was the only thing in the murder scene without any of... F. Lee Bailey said this week that if the defense only knew what Ron Goldman's last words were, they might be able to find the real killer. You know, if you ask me, Goldman's last words were probably, hey, you're O.J. Simpson. Oh, no, O.J. has struck again. How about that? Not a good thing. And in court this week, Cato Kalin testified that O.J. Simpson did not appear angry before or after the period of his wife's murder. But Kalin admitted he could have been a touch edgy while he was actually murdering her. Might have been a... Hertz Rental Car Company announced this week that it will buy 520,000 vehicles, increasing its worldwide fleet 24%. In addition, they will try to find a new spokesman who won't kill his ex-wife. This week at the O.J. Simpson trial, the infamous bloody glove was finally introduced into evidence, and O.J. didn't help his case any by blurting out, "There it is, I've been looking all over for that thing." And a new shocker in the O.J. Simpson trial. This afternoon, Judge Lance Ito dismissed yet another juror, a 45-year-old African-American male, for failing to tell the court that he had once worked for Hertz Rent-A-Car and that he had once held Nicole Brown Simpson's glasses while O.J. killed her. Dismissed Simpson juror Jeanette Harris revealed in interviews this week that the jury is torn by dissension and is already divided into two camps, those who think he is guilty and those who are really, really stupid. A bad week for the prosecution of the O.J. Simpson trial. Under intense cross-examination by defense lawyer Barry Scheck, LAPD crime expert Dennis Fung admitted that he may have contaminated the crime scene when he accidentally dropped a big bucket full of O.J.'s DNA. It's our top story tonight this week in the O.J. Simpson trial. After grisly photos of the murdered Nicole Brown Simpson were shown in court, O.J. turned his head away and wept. It was at that moment that he realized he would never be able to kill her again. Well, in a questionable move by the defense team this week, O.J. Simpson demonstrated how to stab two people at the same time. Remember 12 Angry Men, the classic courtroom drama? Well, the first film about the O.J. Simpson case is in the works. It's entitled 9 Angry Black People, 2 Scared Asians, and a White Guy Who Hasn't Spoken Since Rosa Lopez. Testimony during the final week provided some spellbinding moments. In a brilliant move during closing arguments, Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat. Well, the trial of the century is over. Late yesterday, the fate of O.J. Simpson, the most famous murder suspect in United States history, was placed in the hands of the jurors. They must now decide whether to free him or get all their heads cut off.
And let's look for some more of that. There's got to be some more of Norm right there. Let's see. Oh, here's one.
Weekend update with Noam
Fake news. Yesterday, Simpson trial judge Lance Ito allowed that mystery envelope to be opened, and it appears Simpson may already have won $10 million. The first deaf Miss America, Heather Whitestone, was crowned last week in Atlantic City. Although completely deaf, she is an expert lip reader. Personally, I don't think she's that pretty, you know. Not my cup of tea. Well, David Hasselhoff is a huge rock star in Germany, where his latest album sold 5 million copies this week, which once again proves my theory. Germans love David Hasselhoff. Christy Brinkley told reporters this week that her marriage to Billy Joel was over long before their divorce. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Christy Brinkley and that she was married to Billy Joel. And in a related story, this week marked the 5,000th performance of the Broadway musical Cats. It also marked the 5,000th time a guy turned to his wife and said, "What the hell is this?" And finally, John Wayne Bobbitt is going to be an adult film star. He has been signed to play himself in the John Wayne Bobbitt story. The part of his severed penis will be portrayed by Pauly Shore. According to an obscure 14th century law, British Army Captain James Hewitt could be hanged for having an affair with Princess Diana. The punishment for having sex with Princess Diana is death. The punishment for having sex with Princess Anne is having sex with Princess Anne. Las Vegas mogul Steve Wynn has announced plans for a new hotel, 46 stories high, set on a 17-acre island in the middle of a 50-acre artificial lake on the Las Vegas Strip. In a related story, Motel 6 now has shampoo. Well, a beef-flavored water for dog hit stores this week, and dogs are eagerly anticipating the arrival next month of the newest water flavor, other dogs' asses. Dr. James Watts, a neurosurgeon who performed the first frontal lobotomy, died this week in Washington. If you recall, a lobotomy involves drilling holes in the skull and then inserting and rotating a knife to destroy brain cells. What a genius. He'll be missed. Former First Lady Nancy Reagan reports that her husband has been relaxing at their ranch, riding horses and chopping wood. Sadly, eyewitnesses report that he was actually riding wood and chopping horses. Ted Kennedy says now that he's won re-election, he can finally relax, get off that crazy diet, and really let himself go. Yeah, Ricky Lake, you know, she really is an animal lover, though. She has 3 cats, 2 dogs, and a big ass that follows her around everywhere. Well, there may be trouble in paradise. Lisa Marie Presley confirmed this week that she and Michael Jackson live in separate residences 50 miles away from each other. Lisa Marie was quoted as saying, "I guess being married to a homosexual pedophile wasn't such a great idea after all." Kenny G has a Christmas album out this year. Hey, happy birthday, Jesus. Hope you like crap. Well, a study this week reports seafood is good for you unless it's fried. Yet another groundbreaking story from the pages of the medical journal, Duh. A new FBI study shows that for the first time, Americans are more likely to be killed by a stranger than a loved one or acquaintance. Their advice? Introduce yourself to as many people as possible. A sheepdog carrying $250,000 worth of cocaine in its stomach was found at JFK Airport earlier this week. A customs agent got suspicious when he saw 2 airline employees taking turns sniffing the dog's ass. O.J. Simpson's lawyers have decided to skip hearings on DNA evidence and go right to trial. Asked why they did this, the lawyers replied, "We want to get O.J. acquitted as speedily as possible so he can get back to doing what he does best, killing people." There's a new 24-hour cable TV channel now. It's called Fish TV. The channel shows a giant aquarium of fish 24 hours a day, except from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. when it shows the Byron Allen Show. In a survey this week, men said they preferred penis size to height. 62% of men said they'd rather be 5'2" with a 7-inch penis. 36% said they'd rather be 6'3" with a 3-inch penis. And the remaining 2% said they'd rather be 1'4" with a 300-inch penis. Here we see the president and the first bitch. Hey, slow down, you bitch. Let me catch up. A 51-year-old cosmonaut set a world space endurance record this week after spending 367 days aboard the Russian space station Mir. And also, as a side note, he also smashed his own masturbation record. In Walnut Creek, California, anyone who turns in his gun can get free therapy. And anyone who doesn't turn in his gun can get free anything. According to a controversial new biography, Elizabeth Taylor likes her lovemaking loud, rough, and frequent. Coincidentally, that's also how she likes to eat. Well, it's official. There you go. Michael Jordan is leaving baseball to return to basketball. It is unclear whether the media will now refer to him by his old basketball nickname, Air Jordan, or his more recent baseball nickname, Senior Crappy. Newlyweds Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson had their first argument this week. He wants kids, while she wants fake kids. A new study says that people who quit smoking have healthier lungs. Yet another groundbreaking story from the pages of the medical journal, Duh. And in court this week, Cato Kalin testified that O.J. Simpson did not appear angry before or after the period of his wife's murder. But Kalin admitted he could have been a touch edgy while he was actually murdering her. Might have been a... Leona Helmsley fired a maid this week for stealing her Victoria's Secret lingerie. And you think she looks hot here, huh? Imagine, if you would, with the Hertz rental car company announced this week that it will buy 520,000 vehicles, increasing its worldwide fleet 24%. In addition, they will try to find a new spokesman who won't kill his ex-wife. And finally, the Diamond Council of America advises that men spend 2 months' salary on an engagement ring, while the American Housing Company suggests that you spend 25% of your salary on rent. Interestingly, the U.S. Crack Association recommends that you spend all your salary on crack. In medical news this week, scientists report there may soon be a vaccine for drug addicts, which completely eliminates the craving for cocaine. They caution, however, that the vaccine is extremely dangerous, highly addictive, and costs $10,000 a gram. This week at the O.J. Simpson trial, the infamous bloody glove was finally introduced into evidence, and O.J. didn't help his case any by blurting out, "There it is, I've been looking all over for that thing." In a bid to boost low attendance, officials at the New Jersey State Aquarium have announced plans for a $4 million facelift. In addition, flashing neon signs will be placed outside the aquarium, stating that the fish are, quote, all nude all the time. Julia Roberts told reporters this week that her marriage to Lyle Lovett has been over for some time. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Julia Roberts and that she was married to Lyle Lovett. Last week, Duchess of York Sarah Ferguson visited the Big Apple and showed off her 14-pound weight loss. Hopefully, this will not interfere with her official duties of sitting on her fat ass all day long. Well, singer Willie Nelson, who was arrested recently in Texas for marijuana possession, saw the charges against him dropped this week. A judge ruled the arrest had been illegal because police didn't have probable cause to search his car for pot. How about the fact he's Willie Nelson? Well, the magazine POV came out this week with a list of the best and worst jobs to have in the next century. Their three best were, in this order, multimedia software designer, management consultant, and interactive advertising executive. While their worst, for the third year in a row, crack whore. Dismissed Simpson juror Jeanette Harris revealed in interviews this week that the jury is torn by dissension and is already divided into two camps, those who think he is guilty and those who are really, really stupid. A Cambridge, Massachusetts juror found City Councilman William Walsh not guilty of malicious destruction of property after he removed 2 dildos from a sculpture in the City Hall annex. Walsh's defense was that he was walking by, saw them, and said to himself, "Hey, free dildos." Look at there. While Premiere Magazine's list of the 100 most powerful people in Hollywood hit the newsstands this month, in an odd bit of ranking, Demi Moore was ranked number 28, while her breasts were ranked 20 and 21. So, at a press conference this week, Washington Mayor Marion Barry said he wants private businesses to provide 5,000 summer jobs for a district youth program. He also wants some crack. At Virginia Commonwealth University, a professor is being sued following revelations that he spanked one of his students. It was the student's parents who first became suspicious when they asked, "What kind of marks are you getting?" And she replied, "Big red ones on my ass." So, for the 5th year in a row, People magazine has named John F. Kennedy Jr. one of its 50 most beautiful people. Meanwhile, Big Red Nose magazine has named Ted Kennedy one of its 50 faces most ravaged by drink. Well, in Buffalo, Wyoming, a truck jackknifed this week, spilling hundreds of sticks of dynamite on the I-90 interstate, though officials noted that there is absolutely no danger as long as you're protected by magic. Yeah, I wish I was protected by magic. All right. In stock market news this week, April's 3 biggest losers were Cantab Pharmaceuticals, Champion Enterprises, and Crapco, which manufactures crap. And also crap-related items, most recently Mariah Carey's Christmas album. Due to expected cutbacks in funding for PBS's The Frugal Gourmet, has announced that he'll be changing his name to The Cheap Bastard. Well, in a questionable move by the defense team this week, O.J. Simpson demonstrated how to stab 2 people at the same time. Well, Gary Busey left the hospital this week after overdosing on cocaine last Friday. Doctors say Busey is okay and he should be back in the hospital in no time. Last Friday in Washington, D.C., the city's elementary school students pledged to stay drug-free as a gift to their moms on Mother's Day. Meanwhile, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry got his mom a great big box of chocolates. The Walt Disney Company has announced plans to build a $300 million hotel and entertainment complex in New York's Times Square. Construction begins next spring on their first attraction, Crack Horrors of the Caribbean. The American Academy of Pediatrics has released an updated list of unsafe baby products. Topping the list this year is the really, 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 really high chair. Officials in Disney World have ordered their ride, the Extra Terror Estrial, to be shut down until it can be made scarier. When the attraction reopens in 2 weeks, it will be exactly the same, but missing 6 bolts. The United Paramount Network's new show, Star Trek Voyager, finished in first place Monday night with a 14.7 rating. For those of you who don't know, 1 rating point is equal to 950,000 nerds. In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. That's probably... You don't get worse luck than that. Taco Bell this week introduced a new light menu, as well as a new slogan. Half the fat, but still tastes like crap. OJ's pal Al Cowlings now has a 1-900 number. For $2.99 a minute, Cowlings will tell callers that OJ is innocent. And for $3.99 a minute, he'll try to do it without laughing. And now a correction to a story we ran last week. Prince Charles is actually the one in the middle. So we apologize for that. 130 years after the Civil War, the state of Mississippi has finally voted to abolish slavery. Representatives say they would have liked to have done it sooner, but they were delayed due to some awfully big cotton crops. They had some kind of big cotton thing. All right. And finally, the Oscar nominations were announced this week, and Tom Hanks and Jodie Foster are in a heated competition in the Academy's controversial new category, Best Retard. Well, there's good news this week from strife-torn Ireland, where a historic peace agreement has just been signed. Gee, I wonder if anyone will celebrate by drinking. New medical research shows that men and women have different food cravings, men preferring meat and women preferring sweets. Scientists trace this back to caveman days, when men had to go out and hunt for food while women sat on their fat asses eating chocolates. Washington Power to some Mary Madeline and James Carville are expecting their first baby in July. No one knows if the baby will be a Democrat or a Republican, but doctors are sure of one thing. It will be weird looking. This was Colin Ferguson's first week in prison. Ferguson has reportedly dismissed his cellmate, and from now on, he will be acting as his own bitch. The richest girl in the world, billionaire Athena Onassis, celebrated her 10th birthday this week. What's it like to be the richest girl in the world? Well, to give you some idea, at the party, they had 2 cakes. Due to a change in policy, Amtrak employees will no longer be able to kick homeless people out of Penn Station based on the way they look. From now on, they will have to go solely on urine stench. Some teenagers are snorting or injecting Ritalin, a drug prescribed to treat attention deficit disorder in children. Drug abuse experts warn that Ritalin can cause accelerated blood pressure, along with enhanced mental alertness, a surge of energy, and an increased sense of self-confidence. And remember, kids, those are bad things.
Now I think I understand why they like it. I don't really understand, how to express those things. What do you call them? Emotions? So that's when I started writing notes to myself. Note to self. Remember, Aunt Jenny is your aunt. Note to self. No matter how bad life gets, there's always beer.
This week is Taxi Cab Appreciation Week, so to all you taxi cab drivers out there, I'd appreciate it if you'd take a shower once in a while. How about that? PLO leader Yasser Arafat announced this week that his wife is pregnant. The happy couple said they really don't care if the child is a boy or a girl, just as long as it hates Jews. The United Paramount Network's new show, Star Trek Voyager, finished in first place Monday night with a 14.7 rating. For those of you who don't know, one rating point is equal to 950,000 nerds. Well, there's good news this week from strife-torn Ireland, where a historic peace agreement has just been signed. Gee, I wonder if anyone will celebrate by drinking. Angry over the Atlanta Braves and Cleveland Indians' use of Indian caricatures as logos, Native Americans showed up at the World Series tonight. They chanted for hours to protest Indian stereotypes, though it didn't help their cause any when it started to rain. In Nashua, New Hampshire this week, a high school student, Chris Conley, while attempting to dunk a basketball, lost his balance, crashed down on the rim, and shattered 2 front teeth. Gee, I wonder if by some crazy chance Chris is white. Well, if I can be allowed a personal opinion, I think Harrison Ford's new mustache works. And by works, I mean looks really gay. Well, this week, world chess champion Garry Kasparov defeated an IBM computer in their 6-game chess series. Experts are calling the encounter between chess wizard and supercomputer historic, because for the first time ever, it brought together both geeks and nerds. In honor of this year's Academy Awards, Carnival Airlines is offering anyone named Oscar a free flight to or from Los Angeles. The airline had tried a similar promotion in the past for the Tony Awards, but according to airline spokesman, they found that their planes were packed with too many, quote, greasy Italians. Last week on Larry King Live, Marlon Brando made the shocking statement that Hollywood is, quote, run by Jews. In response, outraged Jewish organizations made it snow in New York in April.
And then they fired off their space lasers at random people to punish them, to show their depth of power.
In overseas news, an attempt to lift the ban on gays serving in the British Armed Forces has been defeated in Parliament. This raises a difficult legal question. How do you exactly tell if a British guy is gay?
That's a joke I've said over the years about, different guys. I just say, he's not gay, he's British.
In Bridgeport, Connecticut, the Statakoti Indian tribe is seeking recognition by the Bureau of Indian Affairs in order to open either a manufacturing company or a casino. I wonder which one they'll choose. Manufacturing company or the casino. Despite recent criticism, the School Board of Oakland, California has voted to proceed with its controversial Ebonics programs for city schools. In fact, school board officials today announced the winner of the first citywide Ebonics spelling bee, fourth grader Soon-Duk Kim. Congratulations to Soon-Duk Kim. Good job. Potential jurors for the O.J. Simpson case were asked to fill out a 75-page jury questionnaire this week. In the entire state of California, only one person got a perfect score, Xiao Ming Wu, who after the trial plans to attend Caltech. In Michigan, state historical commission officials say they will not interfere with the building of a new major sports stadium, even if construction unearths historical artifacts. However, state Indian Affairs officials say that if relics from a Native American tribe are found, they would like to have the land set aside and designated as a sacred tribal burial ground / giant casino. According to the U.S. Bureau of the Census, California's population is expected to grow nearly 18 million by the year 2025. Also by the year 2025, it will be much easier to find a vacant apartment in Mexico. According to a new survey by the Women's Vote Project, women would be more likely to vote if they could send in ballots by mail or if polls were open longer. Also, more women would vote if you were permitted to bake your vote. They like to bake. Finally, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a man allowed his 8-year-old daughter to take the wheel of his car, and an accident ensued that damaged 7 other cars and injured 6 people, which once again proves my theory: women can't drive. 4 Wisconsin men have been charged with felony hate crimes after burning a man's buggy simply because he was Amish. If convicted, the men face up to 25 years in prison. But furious Amish leaders say that is not enough. They want the dunking wheel. On Wednesday, NASA launched the Space Shuttle Columbia on its 87th voyage. This trip by the shuttle will feature the first spacewalk ever by a Japanese astronaut who will get to take in the unique perspective of Earth from space. Gee, I wonder if there's any chance he'll take a picture. This week, computer hackers broke into Yahoo, the internet's most popular website, and vowed to unleash a crippling computer virus if a fellow hacker is not released from prison. Experts warn that catching these cyber terrorists will not be an easy task and may require the cooperation of both nerds and geeks. Safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentages in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do. No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women.
I'm thankful for women.
Oh, there you go.
Greatest creatures on earth.
That's all right. We'll get behind that one.
I think women are more intelligent than men. Also, Conan, without women, there would be no cookies. I order a Polish sausage, you know, from this guy, you know. And so the guy says to me, you must be Polish. And I said, come on, man. I mean, come on. Think about it, what you're saying. You know, I'm trying to knock some sense into this fellow's head, maybe give him a wider world view, you know?
Sure, yeah.
I said, you think because I order a Polish sausage, I'm Polish. I said, what if somebody came in here and ordered French toast? Would you think he was French, you know?
Right.
I said, if the guy came in, he ordered a Cuban hamburger. Are you going to assume he's a Cuban?
Right.
I said, I think it is absolutely ridiculous that just because I come in here, I order a Polish sausage, why would you jump to the fact that I'm Polish?
Right.
And the guy says to me, well, first of all, it's a hardware store.
How many Polish guys does it take to screw in a light bulb? The question cannot be answered because Polish people are so fucking stupid that no matter how many of them are available, none of them would ever be able to complete that simple task.
This is a meta joke. Have you aware of these meta jokes?
How many comedians does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
2. One to do it, and the other guy to go, how long's he been up there?
I like that.
On stage.
Yeah, because they was going,
They're all like, how long?
Oh, that's a good one.
Polish people. I remember the Poland. Do you remember they were trying to had something? They were trying to land on the sun.
Oh,
I was going to say that the Polish government did actually try to land on the sun back in the.
no, they didn't.
Yes, and they were ridiculed for it because they said you'll burn up when you come anywhere near. They said we're going at night.
Who?
Now.
Oh.
Last week at a dramatic press conference about the crash of TWA Flight 800, ABC News correspondent Pierre Salinger displayed a document which he believes is proof that the jet was shot down by a U.S. Navy missile. Later, he proudly showed reporters his solid gold Rolex that he bought on the street for just $15. That's one ugly bastard, isn't it? Well, it is finally official. Murder is legal in the state of California. A down-and-out O.J. Simpson, depressed that all of his money-making ideas have failed, has decided to go back to doing what he does best, killing people. And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... all bets are off. This is a word of advice. A new book claims that Madonna once smeared peanut butter all over John F. Kennedy Jr.'s body and then licked it off, which just goes to show you Madonna's a whore. And finally, Weekend Update would like to congratulate Madonna, who gave birth to a beautiful baby girl last Monday. The baby weighed in at 6 pounds, 9 ounces, making it the 4th largest object ever to pass through Madonna's birth canal. This week, in a secret ceremony in Australia, Michael Jackson was married for the 2nd time. Asked what makes his new bride special, the King of Pop said, quote, "She has taught me about the power of imagination, like imagining that a grown woman is a 10-year-old boy." You know he's a homosexual pedophile, right? You understand? Sources report that Michael Jackson's baby is due February 27th, and it's going to be named Michael Jackson Jr. Michael plans to be with the mother during the delivery, in his words, to make up for not being there for the Sources report that Michael Jackson's baby is due February 27th. It's conception. The last word was conception, so. Michael Jackson. He said, I heard a quote where he said, I don't care if my child is a boy or a girl, as long as it's a boy. He's going to name it. He said he doesn't know what he's going to name it. He said he thinks if it's a girl, he's going to name it Sharon. Really? Yeah. And if it's a boy, he's going to have sex with it.
I came in and he was supposed to be the my guide through SNL, and it turned out that he is a shit stirrer.
I'm not going to guide any lady through comedy. That would take me, first of all, I'd have to figure out how a lady could do comedy. And then I'd have to... Safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentage in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do. No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women.
I'm used to say goodbye, nothing new to me. Baby, I'm trying to survive, I know that you believe.
Is the First Lady a compulsive liar, though? It's beginning to look that way. In an interview on last night's 2020, intended to promote her new book, It Takes a Village, Mrs. Clinton folded under tough questioning by Barbara Walters and admitted that, in fact, it does not take a village, and furthermore, that she was aware that it does not take a village when she wrote the damn book. Meanwhile, President Clinton is hard at work on Tuesday's State of the Union address, in which he'll focus on crime, education, and the economy. At the request of the First Lady, part of the president's speech will be huge lies. More questions about Hillary Rodham Clinton's truthfulness. In an interview this week, the First Lady claimed that she won the women's 100-meter dash at the 1956 Olympics, and that she had an IQ of, quote, over 700. When it was pointed out to her that these were not especially good lies, Mrs. Clinton responded, I know, I have a problem, and then added, I invented the formula for 7-Up. In Whitewater news, federal regulators quizzed Hillary Clinton at the White House this week and gave her a perfect score on the lying section. She's a dirty liar. For years, Hillary Rodham Clinton has told people that she was named for the first man to climb Mount Everest, Sir Edmund Hillary. But as Esquire magazine recently pointed out, Sir Edmund did not climb Mount Everest until 1953, 6 years after Hillary was born. However, the First Lady does have a good explanation for the discrepancy. She loves to lie. A former Arkansas banker told the Senate Whitewater Committee this week that he gave Bill Clinton a $20,000 loan as a favor, even though it was, quote, unacceptable banking practice. In response, President Clinton stated that he has no recollection of such a loan, while First Lady Hillary Clinton said, we've never even been to Arkansas. Though more indictments are likely in the Whitewater investigation, President Clinton is still refusing to say whether he will pardon former Whitewater associates Jim and Susan McDougal. But when asked if he would pardon First Lady Hillary Clinton, the president was crystal clear, quote, she does the crime, she does the time. The big thing was he forced them to do this. The big problem that Clinton has is this thing where he's going to pardon the McDougals.
He may or may not pardon him. Yeah, people don't know. The Whitewater people, we call them.
Right.
The show.
And he said today, he was on the Good Morning America show, Clinton, and he said that he still he says he may pardon the McDougalls if they're, if they go to jail, he may pardon them. And then they asked him, they said, what about Hillary if she, if she is, because she is also a co-conspirator.
Yeah, if she gets sent away.
If she gets sent away, will he pardon her? And Clinton said, you do the time, you do the crime, you do the time, he said.
That was so sweet. You moved into three-point range and up and at the last second fouled. All right.
I don't know about politics.
You're not a big fan of Hillary's, are you?
No, I don't like
Why
Hillary.
don't you like Hillary?
I don't like her anyway. Well, because I think she's the most corrupt person that we've ever had in the White House. I mean, there's so many terrible things that she's done that we forget. But there was one that, I don't know why this was swept under the rug, but, she went into the IRS and looked at political enemies' tax returns.
Nixon did that.
Yeah, well, absolutely Nixon did that. Yeah, she's a
You
Nixonian
know that Hillary did that?
Well, as much as I know anything. I mean, this was reported, and it was a thing for a very short time because the news cycles go so quickly. And maybe nowadays, Nixon, Watergate would have just been a Friday night story that would have disappeared on Monday.
I think people don't vote on issues as much as they just vote on who they'd like that old sob.
And when it comes to Hillary, there's a speech from an old Doctor Who episode I'd like to show you that epitomizes her.
You are one of the most evil and corrupt beings this time. Evil.
Let me turn it up for you. This is the perfect summation of Hillary Clinton, as pictured right here by actor Anthony Ainley.
You are one of the most evil and corrupt beings this Time Lord race has ever produced. Your crimes are without number and your villainy without end. Nevertheless, we are prepared to offer you a full and free pardon.
Like clockwork.
About who you'd rather have a beer with, and nobody wanted to have a beer with Hillary Clinton, I think I had one joke about Donald Trump that I ever did, where I said that Americans hated Hillary Clinton so much that they voted for someone they hated more than Hillary Clinton to rub it in.
Here we see the president and the first bitch. Hey, slow down, you bitch. Let me catch up. Here we see President Clinton looking for something, anything, to hug besides his wife. This week in South Africa, Winnie Mandela was removed from the new government by her husband, President Nelson Mandela. A curious Bill Clinton later called Mr. Mandela to find out how exactly you go about doing something like that. Gosh, Hillary looks pretty in this photo here, doesn't she? I never realized she was such a looker till I see her here in this picture. A frightening moment this week for First Lady Hillary Clinton. Her plane, en route to the former Soviet Union, was forced to make an emergency landing when it was discovered that a frayed wire in the engine was causing serious malfunctions. The president was said to be furious and demanded an immediate investigation of what went wrong with Operation Frayed Wire. Astronaut Shannon Lucid, back on Earth after a record 6 months in space, was welcomed home Tuesday with a phone call from President Clinton. Said the president, quote, "This is just the beginning. One day we'll be able to send an American into space indefinitely, and I hope it's a woman." Speaking in Australia this week about the problems of being America's first lady, Hillary Clinton joked, quote, "Perhaps I'll walk around with a bag over my head when I come out into public and have no opinions and never express them publicly or privately." To which the president replied, "Yes, yes, oh God, yes." As new questions arise about Hillary Clinton's role in Whitewater, the president appears to be distancing himself from the First Lady. Earlier today in his weekly radio address, the president insisted, "Hey, I sleep with hundreds of girls. I can't vouch for all of them, you know?" In court documents made public this week, independent counsel Kenneth Starr told a federal judge that Hillary Clinton is now a, quote, central figure in the Whitewater criminal probe. Reacting to the news, President Clinton called the investigation a partisan witch hunt, vowing, quote, "If the First Lady is somehow convicted and has to go to jail, I will do everything in my power to wait 2 weeks to start dating." With growing indications that First Lady Hillary Clinton may be indicted for her role in Whitewater, President Clinton is reportedly starting to prepare for that possibility. Plans so far include renting a hall, hiring a band, and making a giant bathtub with margaritas. In a unanimous verdict this week, a Santa Monica jury found O.J. Simpson liable for the wrongful deaths of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman, awarding the plaintiffs damages of $8.5 million. Reacting to the verdict, Simpson insisted that he has nowhere near that amount of money and that his only remaining asset is 30 pairs of Brunei Mali shoes. The announcement of the verdict came toward the end of President Clinton's annual State of the Union address, and to many observers, completely overshadowed the event. Even the president was distracted during his speech, waiting to hear exactly how much it costs to kill your wife. Well, more O.J. Simpson news. On Friday, the Juice officially endorsed Bill Clinton for president, adding, quote, "I'd like to help him any way I can." To which the president replied, "Well, there."
And then it's about to go down. We're here to stay and run this town. Bring in the heat, bring in the energy. We're the queens of the festival, can't you see? Into festival heat from the first.
Let's see if there's anything else.
Middle Ages using techniques similar to photography. Backing up his claim is the recent unearthing of a 2,000-year-old "your face on a shroud" concession booth. Last month, an 80-year-old Albuquerque woman was awarded over $2 million in damages from McDonald's after she spilled some of their coffee in her lap and suffered severe burns. As a result, McDonald's this week has put a warning label on its coffee cups that read, "Caution, do you think you can manage to avoid pouring it directly on your crotch this time, you senile old hag? Think you can manage that, huh?" And the Shawshank Redemption picked up the New York Film Festival's coveted award for the stupidest movie title.
All right, David.
Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler. Gil Graham. It was, I'm sorry, Gil Graham. Looks a bit like Adam Sandler. Take off that wig and the funny shirt, you know. Dead ringer for Sandler. In Washington, a 410-pound convicted killer is fighting his execution on constitutional grounds. He claims that if he is hanged, his head will be completely torn from his body, which would amount to cruel and unusual punishment. Now, having your head completely torn from your body is cruel, I'll grant you, but is it really that unusual? Well, David Hasselhoff is a huge rock star in Germany, where his latest album sold 5 million copies this week, which once again proves my theory: Germans love David Hasselhoff. A truck full of chickens overturned on the Long Island Expressway yesterday. Hundreds of chickens crossed the road, but nobody's been able to figure out why. And that's all for now. Good night and good luck.
Norm MacDonald.
Hi, I'm Norm MacDonald, and this is the news. Potential jurors for the O.J. Simpson case were asked to fill out a 75-page jury questionnaire this week. In the entire state of California, only one person got a perfect score. Chow Ming Wu, who after the trial plans to attend Caltech. O.J. Simpson's new fitness video was released this week, and hitting the shelves next week, Simpson's newest video, Dorf on Stalking. The crowd is torn. Tourism in India has taken a dramatic drop recently. The State Bureau of Tourism has two theories. One, airfares have gone up slightly in the past year, causing a decrease in travel worldwide. And two, the plague. In New York this week, Sammy the Bull Gravano was sentenced to just 5 years in prison for committing 19 murders. You better be careful, though, because New York has just passed a tough new law. 20 strikes and you're out. 4 Pittsburgh children were found in a house strewn with garbage and human waste after they'd been abandoned by their parents for 2 weeks. The couple was charged with child endangerment, but to their credit, they did bring the children a present. A T-shirt that reads, "My parents left me for 2 weeks in a house full of human waste, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt." A comet hit the planet Jupiter last July, and scientists now say the dark scars have almost completely disappeared. But the emotional scars will be there for a long, long time. Ford this week recalled 2 models of cars, saying that they might explode during refueling. At Ford, quality is job 1, and job 2, making your car explode. What's it like to lose $35 million? Just ask Dale Sturdivant of Honesdale, Pennsylvania. That's how much he lost this week at a local convenience store when he failed to guess any of the 6 winning numbers in the state's Pick 6 lottery. When reached for comment by Weekend Update, Sturdivant replied, "Why are you making such a big deal out of this? I bought a $3 lotto ticket. It didn't win. Why can't you leave me alone?" Christy Brinkley told reporters this week that her marriage to Billy Joel was over long before their divorce. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Christy Brinkley and that she was married to Billy Joel. This week, Disney released a new CD featuring a rapping Mickey Mouse. To avoid controversy, the CD will not include the controversial hit single, Cat Killer. And in a related story, this week marked the 5,000th performance of the Broadway musical Cats. It also marked the 5,000th time a guy turned to his wife and said, "What the hell is this?" The Food and Drug Administration announced today that while 1 ounce of Special K with 4 ounces of milk is a good dietary source of protein, 1 ounce of Special K with 5 ounces of milk is deadly poison. 70% of diners polled this week said there should be no smoking in restaurants. And 80% of diners said that restaurants should give away their food for free. Fashion designer Giorgio Armani confessed last week to bribing Italian tax officials. He was sentenced to 6 months of wearing brown shoes with a blue suit. Visitors to New York's Times Square this winter are in for a bit of a surprise. Crazy people will be shooting at them. Well, David Hasselhoff is a huge star in Germany, where his series Baywatch celebrated its 100th straight week as the nation's top TV show, which once again proves my old theory: Germans love David Hasselhoff. And finally, John Wayne Bobbitt is going to be an adult film star. He has been signed to play himself in the John Wayne Bobbitt story. The part of his severed penis will be portrayed by Pauly Shore. And that's all for now. Good night and good luck. Thank you. Thanks, I'm Norm MacDonald. This is the news. The world was stunned this week when Yasser Arafat was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Actually, it's not that remarkable when you consider this year's other nominees. Raul Cedras, Mickey Rourke, and the guy who stabbed Monica Seles. Microsoft founder Bill Gates topped Forbes magazine's list of the wealthiest Americans this week, just beating out the number 2 finisher, Mr. Monopoly. It was a big week for the old fella, who also placed second in a beauty contest, picking up a cool $10. In a related story, 3 of Hollywood's most powerful men, David Geffen, Steven Spielberg, and Jeffrey Katzenberg, joined forces last week to form their own movie studio. When asked what sort of films we could expect from them, the trio replied, mostly pornos. That's good news. All right. This week, Saddam
they did produce American Beauty.
Hussein pulled his troops back from the Kuwaiti border after realizing that a second invasion might hurt his chances for a Nobel Peace Prize. On Wall Street last week, trading was very heavy on the big board. Why? Because it's the big board. What are you, nuts? According to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses, or treat. By the way, you can now purchase a bronze statue of the Juice for only $3,395. And for an even $5,000, you can buy one that Al Cowlings has kissed the ass of. Yoko Ono donated some John Lennon memorabilia to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this week. The items include his Sgt. Pepper uniform, an electric guitar he used at Shea Stadium, and the original handwritten lyrics to several songs that she ruined. New York City police charged this week that the 90-year-old mother of actor Peter Falk was systematically bilked out of $3 million in cash, jewels, and antiques by a con man. Peter Falk's mother, huh? Robbed? That sounds like a job for Matlock. According to an obscure 14th century law, British Army Captain James Hewitt could be hanged for having an affair with Princess Diana. The punishment for having sex with Princess Diana is death. The punishment for having sex with Princess Anne is having sex with Princess Anne. Playboy founder Hugh Hefner recently attended his high school reunion. It was wonderful to see all my old friends, he said, but still it's nice to get back home to a house full of beautiful, naked 18-year-old women. Well, David Hasselhoff is a huge star in Germany, where his syndicated series Knight Rider places a consistent second behind Baywatch in the ratings, which once again proves my old theory, Germans love David Hasselhoff. Last week, British entrepreneur Richard Brown launched a new soft drink, Virgin Cola. Apparently, months of research determined that people were turned off by the names Slut Cola and Dr. Whore. People in 14 states.
This is a personal question for everyone. Did you ever try Virgin Cola? I know it existed, but did you ever have Virgin Cola? I'm curious. Cola. Just say so in the chat if you have.
reported getting sick after eating Schwan ice cream.
And well, it turns out no. Forever says no, and RJ says I never had it. Okay, so now we know.
They're not sure which flavor is the problem. They're vanilla, they're chocolate, or they're uncooked pork swirl. And that's all for now. Good night. And good luck. Judge Lance Ito this week barred all potential jurors from reading Faye Resnick's controversial new book, Nicole Brown Simpson, Diary of a Life Interrupted. The judge also barred them from reading Faye Resnick's other new book entitled Judge Lance Ito is a Big Fruit. In other book news, Prince Charles released an autobiography in which he states that he never loved Princess Di and that his father pressured him to marry her. The book is entitled, Of Course OJ Did It. I mean, come on. And the Pope came out with a book this week, which contains a series of essays examining faith and morality in today's secular world and the changing role of the Catholic Church as it approaches the 21st century. The book is entitled, God Himself Told Me That OJ is Guilty. Queen Elizabeth II visited Russia this week, becoming the first English monarch to set foot in the Soviet Union. The visit, which will last for 2 weeks, is expected to have absolutely no effect on anything whatsoever. To discourage worship of the Dalai Lama, the Chinese government has banned all photos of the exiled Tibetan leader, except for this photo from the 70s. New York City doorman Lenny Ladenhoff nearly fell over from shock when Princess Diana confided to him that she was feeling horny and invited him to drop by her hotel suite Thursday evening. Way to go, Lenny! Las Vegas mogul Steve Wynn has announced plans for a new hotel, 46 stories high, set on a 17-acre island in the middle of a 50-acre artificial lake on the Las Vegas Strip. In a related story, Motel 6 now has shampoo. Helmut Kohl was elected to his fourth term as Germany's chancellor this week. Experts say Mr. Kohl's success was guaranteed after he won the backing of singing sensation David Hasselhoff, which once again proves my old theory, Germans love David Hasselhoff. The Brazilian teenager suing Michael Jackson for running him over with his van displayed his scars for a photographer this week. Jackson said through a spokesman that the suit was baseless, but he'd like to see more photos. A jury this week awarded $8.9 million to a man who said Tylenol destroyed his liver. Immediately following the decision, Tylenol announced its new advertising campaign. Take Tylenol, and you just might win $8.9 million.
Well, I know that's a little funny right there, but now here is page 3 of issue 7. There we go. Alrighty, yes. Now that just means we've got the other 21 to take care of. We've got to take care of what we need to take care of. And then, of course, the big deal is tomorrow we have got the Warren Elks comic show for me to get ready for. Luckily, I already have my morning espresso ready. I've got it in the camera lens thermos, so everything is ready. The moment has been prepared for. Forever says that the page came out great and loves her smirk. Well, I hope everybody else will love that. And I also hope that everybody else out there will love it when issue 2 arrives tomorrow. Because, yes, as I see here from the tracking by UPS, we are still, it is still in Columbus right now, and it is estimated to arrive tomorrow, Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So that means that, yes, when it does arrive, I'll be packing them all up, and then come Monday morning, I'll be shipping them all out to you since we're going to be shipping them through UPS Ground Advantage. And then from there, we got ourselves a big, fun, magical time. Oh. RJ says it looks impressive. Well, that's nice right there. I'm hoping each new, I've been saying that each issue should look more impressive than the last, and that each, a page should be better than the last. And I really think I'm getting more and more of that. So that is absolutely what we are achieving right around here. So until then, I want to thank you all for watching. Subscribe so the channel will reach 10,000 subs. Don't forget to become, besides the channel member, to go and shop in my art store with that first link in the description below, where you can buy my art, or you can commission me, or you can support me with a donation, or you can go and order issue 2 of my comic Encrypted, where a regular copy is $5, an autographed copy is $10, an autographed and sketched in copy is $20, or you can get a 1-year subscription to the comic for $60, or a 1-year subscription with your copies autographed for $90. So everybody remember, tomorrow I'll have shorts at 5 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 and 6. I'll have a new video at 6:30, and I'll be live again at 8. So until then, felines, slam it, lick it, suck it, and see you, Space Cowboy.